Hello everyone, my name is Sourav Maity and today we are going to do the 18th lesson of our course, that is HTML input attributes. These attributes are the specified attributes of the input types. In last lecture we studied about the input types and now we are going to study further about input attributes. So let's start the various attributes that we are going to read today. The first one is the value of the attribute. How to set the value of the attribute. Let's see with this example. Doc type HTML tag, body tag, then we write form actions equals to action.php, first name, input type is equals to text, name is equals to first name, value is equals to John. This is the default value that will be shown. Last name, input type is equals to text, name is equals to last name. Form close, body close, HTML tag close. So this is how the value will be assigned to a specified input type, and you can use this. This will be the output of the following. First name value, a default value will be displayed inside the box because you have assigned a value to it, and in last name you have not assigned any value, so nothing will be displayed inside the box. The read-only attribute. The read-only attribute specifies that the input field is read-only. It cannot be changed. Like the value you have given, it cannot be changed. It is the value that needs to be submitted in the form. Form action is equals to this action page.php. First name, input type is equals to text, name is equals to first name, value is equals to John, read-only. Form close. When you specify this read-only, then the data will be only submitted and it cannot be altered. The disabled attribute. The disabled attribute specifies that the input type field is disabled. A disabled input field is unusable and unclickable, and its value will be sent to when submitting the form. Like you have used in this following output, form action is equals to action page.php, first name break, input type is equals to text, name is equals to first name, value is equals to John, disabled, and form close. So this is how a disabled value is assigned. The disabled value is different from the read-only value because it is unclickable and it cannot be changed, and it will be sent it will not be sent when submitting the form data, but the read-only value will be sent to the server. Now let's move towards the size attribute. The size attribute specifies the size for the text input field. Like we have seen, the default size value is 20. Now if you want to increase the size value, and we want to increase the dialog box where the input is given so that the user can see up to 40 characters, we need to write the following code. Form action is equals to this, first name break, input type is equals to text, name is equals to first name, value is equals to John, and size equals to 40. Form close. So the following code is written, and when you run this code over your own browser, you will see that the dialog box has increased and now the default size is 40. So this is the size attribute. Now let's read about the max length attribute. The max length attribute specifies the maximum length allowed length for the input field. Like you have written a first name, if you want to specify that the first name should contain only 10 characters, you can specify that also, and only 10 characters will be accepted by the user. How to do that? We need to write form action is equals to this, first name, then we need to write input type is equals to text, first name, then name is equals to first name, max length is equals to 10th, means only 10 characters will be accepted, and then we need to close the form. This is how the max length attribute is applied, and you can use this in your own browser also. The autocomplete attribute. The autocomplete attribute specifies whether a form or input field should have autocomplete on or off. When autocomplete is on, the browser automatically completes the input values based on values that the user has entered before. Tip: it is possible to have autocomplete on for the form and off for specific input fields. The autocomplete attribute works with form and the following input types: text, search, URL, tell, email, password, date pickers, range, and color. These are the autocomplete value, and let's see how to use it. The autocomplete is defined inside the body form tag. Let's see that. Form action equals to action page.php, autocomplete on. When you write this code and run this, and if you have anything searched before only, or you have typed the data before only, then it will complete automatically through the cache memory. Now let's read about no validated attribute. The no validated attribute is a form attribute. When present, no validate specifies that the form data should not be validated when submitted. It is a bad practice, by the way, because no validation means you are not validating what the data is or what is the data type of. So it is asked not to use this attribute. But let's talk about the theory only, how to use it. Let's see from the following example. Form action goes to action page.php and no validate, like we have used autocomplete. So again we are using this no validate in the complete form only, and this is how the form will not be validated, and we will not ask how the form or whatever the data is saved. Now let's focus on autofocus. The autofocus attribute specifies that the input field should automatically get focused when the page loads. We have seen in some input fields, like we have clicked in a single box, dialog box, and it turns background color into some another color, or it means it gets autofocus. So this is how autofocus works, and we can apply other attributes also or properties also in the autofocus. Let's see this with a simple example. The first name input field automatically gets focused when the page loads. First name, input type is equals to text, name is equals to fname, autofocus. So this is how autofocus attribute works, and I would suggest you to use this in your own notepad and run over the browser and see how autofocus gives the output. The form method. The form method attribute defines the HTTP method for sending the form data to the action URL. Form method, we have decided and read this about before also in the previous lesson, that it can be get or post. Get method is not that much secure, and it has size limitations also. It cannot send large amount of data also, but the post method is totally opposite to it. It is more secure and it has no size limitations, and it can be used to send large amount of data. Let's see how to use that tag. Form action equals to action page.php, method equals to get. So this is how we use the get method. Now let's set the height and width attribute. It can be set also. Input type equals to image, source is equals to image.submit.gif, alt is equals to submit, width is equals to 48, height is equals to 48. These are expressed in pixels. So this is how we give the height and width attributes. The required attribute, this is the last attribute that we are talking about, means it can be used if you don't want a user to leave the form empty. So it can be used that the user can submit the form only when it has filled the complete form or the required attributes. How to use it? Let's see that. Username, input type is equals to text, name is equals to username. Required, this means that the username box should be filled mandatorily. So this is the all the topics that we have covered are main, and these were the attributes that needed to be covered here. So I hope you guys enjoyed my lesson, and if you have any doubt then you can ask me from the comment section. Thank you.